Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today, I just wanted to try to jot a couple things down and talk about it on my own instead of reading notes and see how well it goes. So, don't judge me. I seen several stories today and in the last couple days that I want to touch on, and then maybe I'll do another video more in depth. The one that really bothered me the most is that these soldiers that went out to the Capitol when they were called for the riots were over 25,000 in total. They went to Washington, and I guess they were staying at the Capitol in a room when needing to rest. They're working at least 12-hour shifts. And all of a sudden, somebody comes in there and removes them all and tells them they have to vacate. And they have nowhere to go. So they were pushed into garages in very small quarters with only one bathroom and one charging port for their phones for communication. And this was very stressful to them, and they felt very betrayed. Which not only would I feel betrayed, I'd feel used and abused and many other feelings. And again, I've been talking about this for many years, and I've been posting on a lot of media outlets for years, especially my Facebook, on treatment of our U.S. soldiers, and it disgusts me. I'm sorry. And now to see them be called to help and save the situation at the Capitol, only to be basically, once again, used, abused, and tossed to the side, as we do when they come home. That's how I feel. And all the disrespect that they went through in the last several years, and honoring them and fighting for them to have treatment, medical assistance, mental assistance when they come home. It's been very disheartening that they are treated so horribly and not get the things that they need when they come home. Especially when they go over there and risk their lives, or come home missing parts, or the mental abuse and toll it takes on them. And then they come home, whether they're sick from something physically out there or mentally, they can't get help. The pay is disgusting for people who risk life compared to people who are models and actresses, and most of all, to me, and I don't care, you guys can hate me all you want, sports. All get paid very well, extremely well, disgustingly well. The money those people make is embarrassing, in my opinion. The number should never get that high. But yet the people who go out there and risk their lives for us, they end up, sorry, them scam calls always get me. They end up not making much at all, coming home and struggling to find work or being able to work because of what happened while they were over there fighting for us, wherever that is, because I can't name every place they go. But to see these people so disrespected the way they are, I don't even know half the time why people even sign up anymore. You know, in some ways, some people feel it betters their life until they get to the end. And they actually go and fight in a war. And they come back so messed up. And trust me, I'm not saying that in a rude way, because I honor these people, really. And there's nothing here to help them. I watched them try to fight for medical help. And the partners that came and told their stories. I was bawling through this, watching this. I mean, I want to cry now, and I'm trying not to. How their children had to watch them spiral downhill until they passed away. And the suffering and having to fight at the same time for help and assistance. And watching their partner disintegrate. And this today, I don't care how anybody wants to read the article, take the article, or any of that. Because basically, they don't even know why they were vacated, except they wanted their space back. But they still wanted them there to protect them. They just had to move out of there as far as their resting areas with no provisions set up for them. You would think they would have them in hotels, which some of them did get moved to hotels eventually. Excuse me. But prior to throwing them out into parking garages, where they got to wait in line basically for a bathroom, what if you had some emergencies between a couple people? Because there was thousands there. And most of them left. There's still some there, but why even protect the building at this point when you've been treated so horribly? And I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying that would be my mind. Like, why am I even here? I came here to help you, to protect you, and you throw me out like trash into a parking garage corner and say, set up your rest areas here because you can't be in the building anywhere because, there's so much foot traffic and employees are coming back and blah, blah, blah. So what? Then if you knew that, you should have set something up for them prior to throwing them out on the streets like trash. And I'm very offended by this. Very, very for them. Now, let me see. And because of all this close quarters stuff that they were worried about, come to find out, over 100 tested positive for corona. And where were safety measures here? You threw all of them out. They had to live in garage corners, which are very small, thousands of them. And then hundreds test positive for the coronavirus. And all they're worried about is, oh my God, we're in these close proximities now. We could be contaminated. If one of us has it, we're going to contaminate all of us. We have one bathroom and one port to charge whatever devices we have. Really? That's how we treat our soldiers. The soldiers you want to fight for you. The soldiers you call to protect you. Yeah, that one really ticked me off. That's why I led with this one. Tell me how you think. Tell me how you feel about this situation. I'm really tired of the ones who really put their lives on the line for all of us Americans to get less than anybody on this planet. I'm sorry. I feel for these people, and I feel for their families. And there's got to be better set up for them, because this is ridiculous. And I'm not just talking about this. I'm talking about the whole situation, every topic that I just hit. There needs to be more for them. There needs to be more for Americans. No American should have to worry about health care. No American should have to bankrupt themselves to pay for health care. No American should have to worry about, if I pay for health care, am I going to lose my house? I know I can't afford it. I don't make great money. I make decent money. But after my bills are paid, I don't have $500-600 just for one person. One person. And then if I want to put my kids on it, or my partner on it, it's even more. I tried to get a policy several months ago. I think the cheapest one they wanted just for me was $460. I can't afford that. Are you kidding me? And most of us can't. So what do? You do without. And then if you do without, at the end of the year, they're going to punish you for not being able to afford it. They're going to hit you in your pocket where you've already been suffering to begin with. Because you can't afford insurance, they're going to punish you, and they're going to take your tax money for nothing, just as a punishment. This is where things have gotten out of hand with the government. Who are they to punish us, their bosses, for not being able to afford something that they have made unaffordable to us? That they have chosen how we're supposed to survive. And they're supposed to be working to make things better for us, not worse. But it seems no matter what they do, we always end up with the short end of the stick and in a worse situation and predicament. So what is the point of employing these people to do what they're doing? I don't know. Somebody needs to answer that for me, because at this point I'm kind of like lost with this whole situation. And it's kind of very upsetting to me that we are so lost. I'm just trying to get this to where I can see. And I don't know. I think we're better off with no government, or totally revamping the government, because at this point we are just never going to get out of this bad situation. And again, I don't care who you put in the White House. This is what it comes to. Just like Mr. Trump and all his groups that he stirred up. He thought, or they thought, that he was going to pardon them. That he was going to protect them. That he was going to look after them. Because they were doing this for him. And what did I say several videos ago? And my videos were made even before the suspension when the suspension happened. Probably the day of that I found out I was suspended on here. So it was made before it all came out. And I'm not sure if it was posted or not, before or not. But anyways, I said it. And I said it, I believe, in a video right before my suspension, how he was using them to stir the pot. And did they really think if they got in trouble that he was going to rescue them? And here it comes out right now that he's not rescuing them. He's not doing nothing. He used them just like I said he was doing. And he played them. And he knew which ones to play, as I said in my video. And the couple that are right now going through their court proceedings and starting their court proceedings. Oh, God, it was horrible. Now, here we go with regular people, like me and you. Now, at the end of this, I want to know how you're going to feel about the outcome of how different certain people are treated. Now, again, the guy I watched today was somebody like me and you. I'm sorry, I got to stop fiddling. And they were going over the options and what he was being charged with. And he was at max if they were charging him in one way, because they went over two different ways. He was to be charged the max, which would be up to 20 years in jail, a $250,000 fine, 3 years supervised release, and 100 special assessment for a special assessment. I don't know if it's before, after, or during, but I think it's after. So, for you all that, like I said, Trump played with the puppet strings and stirred the pot and got everything in motion for himself and his own selfish wants and needs, you're looking at 20 years in jail, a $250,000 fine, 3 years supervised release, and a $100 assessment fee at the end of it. The guy today, they were, I guess, looking at making it a misdemeanor, or they did make it a misdemeanor. Or that's what they're trying for. It was very short, so I'm not sure how the outcome is. This is just what the judge was asking. So I'm not sure if that's what they're offering him definitely or not, but that's what his lawyer was trying to go for. It is a $100,000 fine. It is 1 year in prison, 1 year supervised release, and a $50 assessment. And again, a jail record, which again, what does that do for you? It makes you probably not able to get a good job, because, you know, after jail, you're not going to have a job. And then when you come out, you're not going to be able to get a job because you have a record. And all for the love of Trump. And he played all these people, and basically he wrecked their lives. Good job, Trump. So, was it really worth it? I don't know. I hate when there's so many different shadows casted. What do you guys think as far as the position Trump has put these people in? And I'm not saying these people don't deserve it. I'm not saying these people didn't do anything wrong. I'm saying these people probably wouldn't have done it if somebody wasn't stirring the pot and pretending that he was going to protect them, and that they were safe, and that they were doing this, you know, for the greater good, basically. Oh, God. And that he was going to take care of everything for them. You know, I don't think they would have just ran out there and put everything on the line for no reason. I don't think that they would have risked, you know, going to prison for 1 to 20 years. I don't think that they would have risked paying a $250,000 fine or $100,000, either or. I don't even know if these people even make that kind of money. So why would anybody risk all that? Because the president was basically making it seem like he had their backs and he was going to take care of them and he was going to look after them, and, you know, if anything went down, they were going to be protected. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that somebody in that power had the right to stir something like that and play people for fools, you know. And a lot of them are out there talking now, you know, basically hurt by the fact that they were played for fools. But again, you did it to yourself too. And here's the second part of it, Mr. Trump and all the police and government officials and all those people are getting misdemeanor trespassing, as far as we've figured out or found out so far. Misdemeanor trespassing. So do you see where, I can't do it in this little screen, where it lies between who you are and who you're not, and what you get and what you don't? How is it that certain people are getting charged with misdemeanors, which is, again, and these people are the ones who actually have the money to pay off that fine and walk away, because they make great money. But the people like you and me, not only are going to get a fine, we're going to do jail time. We're going to then have to spend the time in jail, and then we're going to have to pay, I'm sure, because it's like probation, for our 3 years or year supervised visitation. And then we get to pay for our assessment as well. And then there's still police and other people in the government of capacity that have not even been picked up or charged yet. Again, where is this fair? If we are not going to charge the government officials, employees, or whatever they are, etc., with the crimes to the fullest extent of the law, like you are the people like you and me, then we don't need law. Because there is no free pass, which has been going on for way too long, with people of money. They don't have to pay their taxes. They get away with criminal cases. They got friends and power and buddies and pull and this and that to get them out of every situation they get themselves into. And they're the ones with the money, and they're the ones with the bank accounts and the houses and the boats and this and that and everything else. And they could afford to sell that and pay their debts. But they don't have to, because all they need to do is pay a buddy who's a high-priced attorney, and he'll probably get a discount there too. And then that attorney gets him off with a slap on the wrist. Just like this guy down the road here owns all these complexes. He's probably a billionaire over again, and he owed millions in taxes. Got a high dollar attorney. He ends up paying $10,000 into the IRS and a slap on the wrist. And then you wonder where all our American money is going, and why our taxes aren't being paid and the money's not where it's supposed to be. And I wonder why. But if I didn't pay my taxes, I would be in federal prison for a couple $1,000s. Where do any of you see that any of this makes sense and should continue? Please tell me. I don't see it, and I don't understand it, and I don't see how people are still putting up with it today. It's absolutely absurd. It's insanity. We are people. They are people. They were put in a position. They work for us, and yet you feel like you're the little person because they put that into your head for a couple years, or a couple generations, I should say. No. It's time to face the fact and know what's going on is wrong, and stop allowing this to go on. It's got to stop at some point. If not, again, there's you're just going to let them do whatever they want to you, and then you deserve it. But for us people who are going to fight for our rights, this has got to stop. And I want to see, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I want to see, like I said last night, what Biden does. Because, again, crooked politician. I don't believe much is going to change. If he does do a couple of the things, it's only because they're going to hit us somewhere else. Okay, so we'll get back to all this in a deeper conversation another time. I wanted to get on to the no money thing. Let's do that one next, since it's on my list. What would you do without money? They want to stop all currency and make it digital. Are you guys serious? If you allow them to do that, then they have total control of you and your money, and they can bankrupt you at any time. It's done in corporations all the time. But now they have access to your money, all your money. They close down your account and bankrupt you. You have no money on hand for food, gas, drinks, rent, nothing. If anything happens, and for some reason somebody deletes your account, you have no money. What are you going to do? Just like if you're in Florida, hurricane comes through and knocks out all of your banks and shuts the power off. You can't even go get money at the bank. So you better take your money out before hurricane. Because I was freaking out one year. I was at work and all of a sudden hurricane was coming. I didn't have time to stop at the bank. I couldn't leave work to do anything. By the time I got off work, everything was closed down. And I was kind of strapped because I had no cash on me. And after that time, I learned real fast to always keep cash on me. Now, if we go to a moneyless society and it's all computerized, guess what? Anybody, from hackers to the government to a mistake, can clear your account and you're broke. Whether you're broke for good, whether you're broke for a day or two, doesn't matter. You can't feed your family. You can't do nothing. Can't put gas in your car. Can't pay your bills if it's forever, and you lose everything. And then again, government has complete control over you. Wake up. You cannot allow this to happen. Look at what's happening. This is my next one. Look at what's happening already. They said that they were going to start this vaccine thing and start punishing people if we didn't agree to do what they wanted to and blah, blah, blah. And here it is. The first cruise line this morning, I listened on the radio. If you don't get the vaccine, you're not allowed on. Now, the government wants to do this also. So you will not be able to go grocery shopping. You won't be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. You won't be able to, and you can't live your life. So you're going to blackmail me with the vaccine. But if I don't want to, then you're going to not allow me to go to the store or live my life. No, because I'm not really saying anything about getting it or not getting it. I'm just saying they're using it for blackmail. So, but I don't know. They could try to get me. I don't know anymore with YouTube. But the fact is, you're blackmailing me. Whether I know this vaccine is good for me or not, if I choose not to take it, I should be able to choose not to take it. That should be a choice, not forced. And I believe that has to do, again, with control. And if they can stop you from working, going to the grocery store, or living a normal life, again, they have complete control. And before I put anything in my body, and again, I'm not saying to take it or not to take it. I'm saying if I choose to take it, It should be my choice. And before I put anything in my body, I want to know it's 100% safe. Okay? But if I choose not to take it because I'm not sure, I shouldn't be punished for it. And that's what they're starting already. And they're going to start off with the small things like the cruise ships and this and that. And then eventually they're going to do it too. The government's going to do it too. And again, that takes your rights away from you. That is not what America is about. So I'm hoping I really don't have to edit this because, like I said, I don't think I've said anything wrong. Basically, again, I'm not saying to or not. I'm just saying your options should be your options. And you shouldn't be able to bully or push anybody into taking anything. And this is more about government control than anything. So let's see what else I got. I think that's it as far as my notes. I mean, there is another subject that I want to go on to. And like I said, I wanted to do the... this one kind of does fit in here. I'm not sure if I went over this in the beginning. Okay, so, again, I was talking about the charges. Okay. Now here, let me give you another fact. I talked about it, I think, in last night's video. Now I'm going to bring it up again because this has to do with the same thing. If government officials are not going to be charged, then nobody should be charged. And this is not just making people sick, but people dying. So that's murder. Governor Rick Snyder of Flint, Michigan, poisoned the waters there for a very long time. He had over 10,000 children. Just in children. 10,000 just in children. Sick and die. And he got slapped with a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor. And it was like a slap on the wrist. Nothing serious. This man basically murdered many of children and made many of children suffer. And he got charged with a misdemeanor. Why? Again, because of who he is. His life was in no way disrupted. No punishment. No accountability. If me or you were to live in our house and start throwing stuff in the water in the back, and it ended up causing kids to be sick or pass away, we would be doing a life sentence. What makes one person untouchable, basically, and others very touchable? That's not justice. That's not the way the laws are supposed to work. I'm sorry. Something needs to be done. And it starts right here with you and me. Us, the citizens, need to stand and make sure changes are made. And if our government won't change them, then it's time for us to start anew. This is not America. This is not freedom. And more they are going to try to take more from us. And if we don't follow their rules, they will do even worse to us until they have complete control. And that I will not settle for. And I hope you won't either. It's time to make changes, people. It's time to make changes. And what I'm going to go over in my next video is the court cases. The court cases that have to do with corruption in them. And take a look into a couple of them for yourself. The Watts, the Avery, the Delphi, and of course, look into Governor of Michigan. Sorry, somebody's pulling in behind me. Rick Schneider and what he did with the Flint situation. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to go. Have a great night. Love each other as much as you can. Take care of your family. Love them. Be kind to one another. And I will see you on my next video. You guys have a great night. And take care, guys. Have a great night.